My name is Duddits. I've got an anti-gravity Strand Hunter build for you today. We're going to be featuring the brand new reworked Manticore. This got some changes recently. This gun keeps you in the air indefinitely. It's absolutely crazy, some of the changes that they've made to this weapon. Because we're in the air quite a lot with a Strand subclass, we're also going to be featuring whirling maelstrom. To take advantage of these whirly boys, we're going to be able to hover in the air and watch these maelstroms do some serious damage. Also, there's a few clips in here just featuring the new skimmer and obviously again the Threadrunner subclass. These two combined with the Manticore is just so much fun in certain encounters and things like that. So I've got a few clips of this working together as well. Like I said, the build is just so much fun, extremely helpful, and you are very tanky because we are also featuring woven mail, and the catalyst got changed as well. So stay with me, I'm going to break it all down. So the Manticore is an exotic SMG, void, 900 rounds per minute. It's got a perk on there, soaring fang, dealing damage while grounded, charges anti-grav repulsors, dealing damage while airborne, extends the anti-grav repulsors. And then it's also got a perk on here, swooping talons, dealing damage while airborne, increases its damage output. So if you keep doing damage when you're in the air, your damage just goes up and up and up. Quite nice. The catalyst, it's got changed. I'm going to go over the change to this catalyst. While you are airborne, sustain damage and final blows with this weapon. To difficult combatants, grant a void overshield, reduces accuracy and return ammo to the magazine. So this is the changes that they made to Manticore at the beginning of the season. Must now be airborne for 0.5 seconds and deal damage. The weapon activate the perk. This prevents accidental activation while running downstairs or small jumps. Pretty good change. It's also got the special reload now they've added in there to disengage anti-grav thrusters. They did this with Taraba as well, so they changed the reload when you want to deactivate your thrusters. While anti-grav thrusters are engaged, combatants will be less accurate when targeting the player. Now that is the main change, that is the one that's really important. And then final blows and sustain damage with this weapon while airborne, grant a void overshield and return ammo to the magazine. So all in all, really good changes. So I've just got a few clips to show you of it working. Again, you'll see the anti-grav repulsor just building up slowly as you do damage, kills and damage. That's what build it up. And once you've got this charged up, you can just literally jump in the air and keep firing, and it will keep you in the air for a really long time. So as you saw in the beginning clip, I have added a Strand subclass into this because we can grapple, especially on a hunter, which is what this build is going to be based around. You'll also see I've got woven mail procced as well, so we're going to be featuring an exotic helmet that gives us woven mail and grapple. So you can stay in the air, grapple, get woven mail, and you get that catalyst working where the enemies do have very good accuracy while you're in the air, plus you're going to get the overshield as well. Now I did consider a few different builds and a few different options, but the one exotic that really makes sense for this one to me is the Cyrtachne's Facace. Gain woven mail when activating your grapple, increase flinch and damage resistance while woven mail is active. We've also added ensaring slam into this, so we can also dive to the ground and suspend targets. And then whirling maelstrom, as I mentioned, we are also going to be featuring this. This is like a writhing mass of tangled strand that just whirls around the ground and does loads of damage. It's been pretty well documented over the last few seasons. But everything working together, you've got your woven mail. The enemies don't seem to do much damage to you when you're in the air because of the change to the catalyst. Like I said, you've got woven mail. You can suspend things and create these whirling maelstroms pretty much on tap. So that's sort of the loop. You can literally just do so much free damage and stay in the air infinitely and have loads of damage reduction. From the woven mail, thread of transmutation is a really good fragment to run because we've got woven mail pretty much all the time whenever we grapple because of the exotic helmet. But when you have woven mail, weapon final blows create a tangle. Now this is just perfect for this because you just create so many of these tangles which you can pick up and use your whirling maelstrom on, and you can literally just run around, suspend things while you're in the air, or you can stay in the air and watch that whirling maelstrom just destroy enemies while you're airborne. So it's a really nice little fit. Everything sort of fits nicely together. And what I found really cool with this as well is you created one of them whirling maelstroms. You can actually pick that up while you're floating via the Manticore as long as you're quick enough. So you can really see how cool that is. I found that absolutely crazy, so much fun to do. just picking that whirling maelstrom up while you're floating in the air. And then again, just like the utility of it is being pretty tanky with the woven mail, and you can sort of like get in the air, distract some enemies possibly, and maybe just like pick things off from the air like so, dropping your boats for your teammates. This is just a situation where I found it pretty decent, and you could just literally fly around again and just suspend things if needed. Dive to the ground, you've got that woven mail. You can have that overshield from the catalyst as well. Add in something like the new skimmers as well to the mix in encounters in between sort of bosses, things like that, like in the Prophecy dungeon. This bit here just makes this sort of like a lot more fun, in my opinion. Just being able to do things like this, using your skimmers, diving around like Spider-Man, absolutely crazy. And the changes to Manticore with the Strand subclass on the Hunter with the grappling and the skimmers is probably the most fun I've had in Destiny for a very, very long time. I've just had so much fun with this little setup, it's absolutely brilliant. So all I want to do is just go over this catalyst just a little bit, because the change that I mentioned is really, really important. So it gives you a void overshield, but it reduces the combatant accuracy whilst you're in the air. So that is actually really, really good. So I've got a little clip to show you now. So again, you've got that woven mail going already. You've got that void overshield, you'll see there. So you are pretty tanky in the air. But the accuracy thing, it was quite noticeable, to be honest. I really noticed how much the enemies didn't shoot you when he was in the air. They sort of shoot in one direction and they'll sort of stay aimed in that last direction you were seeing. So as long as you move left and right a little bit, you're absolutely sorted. Nothing can really shoot you. Look at this big Hydra. It usually pounds you, but as long as you just move out of the way, like, it'll just keep shooting in the last direction. So yeah, that makes sense. So just keep moving from left to right a little bit and they will not hit you. But even if they do, you've got that overshield as a backup plus your woven mail. So pretty cool, pretty good change in my opinion. I probably will do another video on the Manticore over the weekend, probably. I'll try and think of something that we can use for a bit more sort of endgamey, GME, mastered raids, things like that. But for now, this one is just really, really stylish. That's what I found with this one. It is still quite helpful in lost sectors and things like that. Thread of Generation and Thread of Mind are two fragments that work really well together. Thread of Generation for loads of grenade energy. Thread of Mind, defeating suspended targets grants class ability. That's really good for your ensnaring slam. A couple of other fragments to put into the mix are Thread of Continuity, suspend, unravel and sever effects applied to targets have increased duration. That one's a no-brainer for a suspend build. And then Thread of Transmutation is the one that enables us to create infinite whirling maelstroms, because we've infinitely got woven mail pretty much going all of the time. Now my mods are really basically, because I don't run Widow Silk on this build where you get an additional grapple, I basically built into grenade recharge rate with a grenade kickstart and stacks on stacks. I will leave the full mods at the end as well playing out, just in case you didn't catch them. But that's the video. Pretty stylish, pretty cool, really, really fun, and extremely, extremely useful, I find. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.